welcome back to my channel. Today's Wednesday, June the 19th, and I just hope that all of you had a wonderful Father's Day. You moms who fill in the position of father, and all of you fathers who do a wonderful job raising your children and providing for your family. I'm just so proud of you, and I'm just so happy that you take the time to tune into my channel and listen to my little stories. I appreciate it so much. So today I'm going to tell y'all another story. We're going to continue with the story of Jill's birth. But first I want to let you know that we have a name. And it was chosen by Lisa Bulmer. And she named him Bowtie. And that's B-O-T-Y. And I think you can figure out why she named him Bowtie. So say hi, Bowtie. Oh, he's so soft and cuddly. And he was shipped to me all the way from Dallas, Texas by my good friend, Tracy. Thank you, Tracy. I love you with all my heart and soul. Let's see, what can we talk about today? Oh, you like the little flowers in my hair? These are actually some that, they're just like the ones that I used on Jill's bridal bouquet. I had interspersed a few flowers in with the Swarovski crystals. Let me come a little bit closer because I know some of y'all can't hear me, and we can't have that. I do have the closed captions turned on, you know, for all of my videos. It's just standard in my YouTube account to have the closed captions. And Laura, I'm sorry if you can't hear me, but just if the closed captions don't work the first time, please try again, because sometimes it takes a couple of tries to get them up there for you. I keep forgetting to look on Amazon for a little microphone. I think that's probably what I'm going to have to get. So I'll try to remember to do that this week. But do y'all remember the song from the 1960s? If you're going to San Francisco, be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. What was the rest of it? Something. If you're going to San Francisco, you will meet some gentle people there. Oh, and I always think of you, Rhonda. When I think of San Francisco, you and my good friend Rosie O'Kelly. But I remember there's this one particular time that really is just cemented in my brain, and it's when I had a date with my boyfriend from Purvis, Mississippi. His name was Bruce Duck. I have talked about him before, but it was probably a year ago. Now his father was the physician there in Purvis, Dr. Duck. He was not a quack. He was a very good physician. And he had a couple of teenage boys. I don't remember the oldest brother's name. But anyway, Bruce, I think it was Butch maybe. And then Bruce was my age. He was a big football player and, you know, the stud in the high school. And we dated for a while, and here's a picture. He did take me to his prom. I think that was the Lumberton prom, so I probably took him to my prom. You can see he was a little towhead. Really nice young man. Anyway, we were going to New Orleans, and I was probably 15 or 16, and Bruce was driving his old, it was a gold-colored Thunderbird, the original sports Thunderbird. And I just remember us driving across Lake Pontchartrain, and the sun was setting, and we were going from Slidell into New Orleans, and we were on that bridge, and I remember that song was playing. And it just has stuck in my head, that memory. I just remember feeling good and warm and important and loved. And those feelings were very few and far between in my life, and they are cemented in my memory. And I'm thankful for that. So if you ever watch my videos, Bruce, you know that I thank you for those good memories. So anyway, I was telling y'all about Jill being born and about Jason and Jeremy staying with old lady Davis, but I forgot to tell you about her other quirky thing. She would not let Jason and Jeremy flush the toilet until she examined the body, the poop. I might as well say it, it's the truth. She had to look at it and examine it. So, I mean, my poor son Jason, he's still traumatized by that older woman. Oh, poor thing. I think Jeremy, he was only 3, so he was too little, I think, to remember it. But if he were still here, we could be asking him about old lady Davis, and I'm sure he remembers her. I don't know if she made it to heaven or not, but if she did, he probably had a few words with her. But anyway, so I forgot to tell you about the labor process. So John and I had gone to the Lamaze classes. Y'all remember back in the 70s and 80s, the Lamaze method. So we had gone to the Lamaze classes, probably not more than 3 or 4, because they were late in the evening, and John was always drunk in the evening. So I don't think he really got the hang of it, and he really didn't know how to help me through labor. So, like I told y'all, I was already 10 centimeters when I got to the hospital. So they just took me on into the labor room. And y'all, those last few labor pains, I was hurting so bad. And John was squeezing my arm. I think Lamaze, they teach you to create pain somewhere else on your body. I mean, severe pain, so you're thinking about that pain and not the labor pain. Well, it didn't work for me. And so I just started, I don't know what I said, but I told John to get away from me and to stop pinching me and to get out of that room. I was just yelling at him. And then I told my doctor, I want an epidural. You would think with the third one that the labor pains would be less, but they never get any less. I think they get stronger because you get older and your body is not, as healthy as it was when you were younger. So I chickened out, and I ended up getting an epidural. So then that slowed down the birth process. I guess it took an extra hour. But I just remember John pinching my arm, and I wanted to kill him. Oh, Lord, he did not know what he was doing. So I was just wondering if any of you women had your husbands in the labor room with you back in the 70s and 80s, pinching on you and trying to get you to breathe right and to work that Lamaze method. In my opinion, it's ineffective. I don't even think it would have worked if John had worked it right. But I guess there are a lot of people who would disagree with me on that, and that's okay. But let's see if I can find some pictures of Jill. Like I said, I dressed her up in little dresses every day. Here's a picture of her. She's sitting on the hearth there in the living room there in our home in Covington. I'm sorry about the blurriness, but these were taken with an old Kodak camera, and some of them are old Polaroids. Y'all remember that song? Shake it like a Polaroid picture. What was the name of that group? Outcast? Anyway, here she crawled into my mop bucket. Can you believe she was that tiny and fit inside my mop bucket? Oh, she was so much fun. Oh, there's nothing like having a daughter after you've had 2 boys. And here she is running in her little swimsuit in the water sprinkler. She's running away from it instead of towards it. And here she is sitting in front of the fireplace with Jeremy. got her little pajamas on. I had me a big old wood fire going there. And like I said, she loved to dress up. I think this was an old Polaroid picture. I can see it. But I think she got that for her birthday, and it was a little umbrella and little shoes and her little purse. And here she is, just a couple of, probably a week old. It says March the 1st, 1981. She was born on February the 26th, and I told y'all in one of my videos that my sisters would come to visit me at the birth of a baby. So this is my sister Angela. She's 8 years older than me. This is my sister Bobby. She's 4 years older than me. That's me. And this is Dorothy. She's holding baby Jill. So they all came to visit me, and I'm sure they brought me gifts. I don't remember. And then this is a picture of the elderly couple that babysat Jeremy when I was working at Equitable Shipyards there in Madisonville, Louisiana. This is Grandpa Dent and this is Grandma Dent. And they came to visit us when Jill was a firstborn. And y'all can see, a newborn, I mean. Y'all can see I've got her in a little red dress. But they kept Jeremy for me, and when he was a baby, I think he was 2 months old when I went back to work at Equitable, and they kept him until I quit the job there. He was 7 months old, and they lived only about a mile or two from the shipyard, so I would go over there on my lunch break and breastfeed Jeremy. And here's Jill with one of her little baby dolls. She learned from an early age, like all little girls do, to be a good mommy. And boy, is she an excellent mother. I am so proud of you, Jill. And here's her and Jeremy laying there on the sofa with both of them got their hands underneath their chins. Y'all, they would have made perfect twins because they were identical and just loved each other so much. And then this is a picture of her when she came to Pensacola in 2003. I had been in a real bad car crash, and she was living here in Asbury Park, and she flew down to Pensacola, and we had a yard sale and sold what few belongings that I did have. I didn't have a car anymore. I was in a wheelchair. So she came down there, and we packed up everything that I had and shipped it to her apartment in New Jersey, and she put me and herself and my wheelchair on an airplane and flew me up here, and I've been here ever since. And this is a picture of her. She's out in front of my house there. I live near Baptist Hospital in Pensacola, and she's out there in the middle of my azalea bush. And I had lived in that house for a year after I left the recovery home. So, even when something horrible happens to you, like, that car crash that I was in, I would tell y'all all about that, but I should have died. Actually what it was in January, and I was coming home from my girlfriend's house, and I hit black ice. Being in Florida, you're not used to ice being on the road. And I just, started spinning around and lost control of the car. I was driving a Dodge Intrepid, and I hit a utility pole. And that thing just came crashing down right through the center of the roof. And the windshield shattered, and I just started getting these sparks from the utility pole. It was an electrical pole. And I got burned. I've got scars on my arms from the burns. But I didn't get anything on my face. It was a miracle from God that I survived that. because with that utility pole crashing through the roof of the car, I should have died. But I ended up with breaking the 3 bones in my foot and my ankle. And I will get into more detail about that because I haven't gotten to the year 2003 yet. I'm still on Jill's birth, which was in 1981. So I hope you enjoyed another of my little story. And y'all just keep on coming back. I love you. Bye.